game for you? The proper game, how was it?
It was definitely interesting. I liked how it was back and forth. Like initially, it was very much. It felt like how battles feel in the case of it's push and go. You're testing each other, and then eventually there's just a break point where one army will crash through and it turns into a rout. While I like the idea because it means like the early game felt very even right from the start. The early game felt incredibly even. I do feel like the snowball effect at the end, the route as I put it, it did build up a bit too ridiculously. Because it just gets to a point where I just get to go, I'm just going to dodge your units because you've only got 2 or 3 and you can't build up a wall.
Yeah.
So
I think there were consequences made in the early game.
Yeah, I'm the other thing. If you're winning, you're winning.
You're winning.
And you don't really need anything. It's the defender then who's there, like, they need something, they need that stroke of luck, maybe.
They have to...
Essentially a simulation of, like, the weather changes.
Yeah.
And it turns the battlefield conditions in their favour.
I think in the game, when you played it, like you said, it was very even, and then, like, 2-3 turns where there were misplays, you were just able to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do like it because it definitely has that feeling of it's just like a general goes through so many decisions. Eventually, they're going to make a bad one, and it will turn the battle in one side's favour.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
yeah. Because your game was very even every single turn. You were strategizing every single turn.
It's always like it's evaluating risk. I mean, as I mentioned before we were playing, it's like I've been playing chess a bit recently, so it's just like. It's going, okay, is this trade worthwhile? Can I go for this trade? Or is there something that I can bait something and go for something else afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you try to kill a cow, it's just like...
You can't.
Nope. Nope, he has +1 health. Wait.
Oh, no, retreat. So, yeah. So, for you, as a Magic player, would you say competitive Magic player?
I was competitive before lockdown. I was playing a little bit. I attended one of the what was it? Like, it wasn't the GP, but it was like build up to like an invitational to the GP.
Yeah.
I did play in one of those at one point. I didn't play in the next one because I was just like, yeah, I didn't feel like it, and B, I don't think it was free that day. But it's like it's definitely a fun game. I'd definitely be down to play more of it.
Simple to learn?
Simple to learn. I think with any game that has strategy involved,
there's a learning curve.
It's not so much that. It's like, I'd say it has an easy skill floor,
but
then an extremely high potential ceiling.
To play very well,
yes.
But to just learn the fundamentals of the game, it's...
Yeah, it's like, again, using the chess metaphor, it's like, yes, it's very easy to learn how all the pieces move.
Yeah.
It's another thing entirely to learn how they all interact.
There we go. Alright, my last question. Give the viewers 3 reasons why they should support Dynasty TCG.
Ooh.
Think wisely.
Yeah.
Strategizing now.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Yes, strategizing. Let's see. This is the sort of question that I'm paid to give me in advance of recording, because I could come up with more.
So go the ones off the top of your head, just off the dome.
I mean, if you're a fan of a card game, if you're a fan of strategy games in general, just strategy games in general, where strategy and there's a little bit of chance, because obviously the card draws, but primarily you can do it through strategy. That is probably the first reason. Because it definitely goes against one
skill.
It's one of the main issues I have with Magic, is can too much just be what cards did you and your opponent draw and what decks are you playing. The second one is because it is simple to pick up. You can have fun even at a basic level, I think.
Even with the demo kids.
Even with demo kids. Let's not talk about the 5 minute game. That was
a think a new record.
I think with the beginner decks, double monkey start is dumb, especially if you get given an extra card draw from your opponent mulliganing. And then I think the third one is it's just if you're a fan of, I mean, as I was sort of picking up from the cards, I'd say Shogun era Japan or pre-Imperial China.
Three Kingdoms period, yeah.
Yeah.
Rounding note of the game.
Solid game. Like the gameplay flow. I like the fact that it's like you have the measurement of keeping mana while you always have the essentially mana or resources. You always have the same number each turn, meaning you don't have.
You're capped on action.
You're capped on action, but it's also you don't suffer from the classic land flood or land drought in Magic. It's definitely refreshing, and it's what I like about some of the online card games. That's what I like about Hearthstone initially before I then fell out with that, and it's what I like about Legends of Runeterra. But it's definitely refreshing because it's like you always know how much you have.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier, I think, to balance new cards because you have a set number, and you can build your framework.
Build it off 10.
You can build your framework by going a 1/2 with no text is worth 2.
Recommend?
I'd recommend to people that like the things that we've talked about and like the look of the gameplay, definitely.
Alright, catch you guys in another one. See ya.